Well, hey everybody, it's Brett. It's Friday night. We're about halfway into week 3, unit 3, and all of the grades now are posted for week 2 or unit 2 that were due closed out on Tuesday. So all the discussion grades are posted for the discussion post and the grades for your journal assignment, the assignment for unit 2, the journal assignment. I wanted to real quick let you know what I thought about what was going on, but first and most important, I want to say congratulations to Larry Seals and to Brooklyn Seward. You guys had the highest scores on the journal assignments, a 198. That's fantastic. You guys did exactly what was what was asked, and you did it very, very well. So all of the journal posts are graded, or journal assignments are graded, so watch for the feedback. I'm still new at this. This is my first time with Columbia Southern. I've got my Columbia College, which is in Missouri, sweatshirt on, but this is my first time teaching for Columbia Southern. So I think it sends emails, and I haven't figured it all out. But what I do know is that I've given everybody feedback on your assignment, so please have a look at that. And if you have questions about it, do let me know. In terms of the journal assignments themselves, I wanted to make a couple of comments. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. Sorry. What we're doing in our critical thinking class is we're thinking about thinking in order to improve our thinking. And I want to break that sentence down into 2 pieces. Thinking about thinking first, and then to improve our thinking. Because if we, what really needed to happen in everybody's post is to approach the post in that way. Remember, we needed to describe a situation, describe our behavior in that situation. We needed to ask 2 questions, develop 2 fundamental questions that got after why we were feeling or thinking a certain way. And then assess whether that was reasonable, whether we should have been thinking or feeling that particular way. And then the last thing to do would be, at each of our 3 examples, develop or think of 2 additional strategies from page 41 of our text that we might have brought to bear to improve our thinking. The first part of that whole process is thinking about thinking. And I want to know what it really means. And at the end of the day, what it really does depend on is asking good questions. We have to make sure we understand the journal assignment. We first describe a situation that happened during the last week as specifically as we can. That's just describing the facts. Fairly uninteresting. The second thing, mildly more interesting, is describing how we behaved in that case. I yelled at someone, or I avoided someone, or I didn't respond to an email, or I didn't call somebody back. Whatever our behavior was, we're also just describing that. No assessments yet, no hard work yet, we're just describing our behavior. A little bit more interesting than just describing the situation. Now the third part is where it really gets interesting, where we formulate those really advanced questions, where we ask ourselves what was going on during that situation. And what was going on could mean lots of things. For example, what was I thinking about? How was I feeling? To use the words from chapter 3, was I happy? Was I sad? Was I stressed? Was I excited about it? In terms of my thinking, was I judging? Was I being biased? Did I have a false perception about something? Was I trying to compare 2 things that shouldn't have been compared? Was my behavior reasonable? If it wasn't, why wasn't my behavior reasonable? And then the last part of asking those hard questions is giving ourselves answers to that. Right? I was stressed, or I was worried, or I was afraid about this particular thing because I was reminded of an event that happened in the past. I was very rude to someone on the phone. Well, why was I rude to someone on the phone? Why did I do that? Well, I was angry at something that had happened earlier in the day. Asking those hard questions about our thinking, what we think, what we feel, what we want, asking those hard questions is how we're going to get after improving our thinking. So the questions that we develop aren't about pragmatic things in the world, about whether, well, I should have spent more time doing this, or should I have called him back immediately? Those are pragmatic questions. The real questions, the hard questions, are how did I feel? What was I thinking? Was I warranted in thinking that way? Was I justified in having that feeling and asking those hard kinds of questions? Now, the second part of that sentence, the original sentence that I said, is, and the original sentence was thinking about thinking to improve thinking. And thinking about thinking means asking good questions about our thinking. To improve our thinking is the two strategies part, right? We're supposed to pick two of the strategies from page 41 and apply them. A lot of you did that. Some of you didn't quite get that part. Each of our situations with specifics, we apply one of these additional strategies. Here's an example. I love the Walmart example. I'm in a Walmart and the cashier is just, hey, welcome to Walmart. She's just kind of really rude, or the guy at the counter is treating me sort of like I don't belong there, or he's, whatever. He's rude, she's rude. It's just, I'm like, what is going on? And as soon as that happens, of course, I get defensive. I put my hand up. I go, hey, man, what are you doing? Don't treat me that way. I start to get defensive. Then I start to get angry. Well, why? Here comes my questions, right? Why am I feeling that way? Why am I thinking that he's treating me badly? Did something happen in my day? And I think about all that sort of stuff, and I realize when I didn't do anything, nothing had happened to me. But if I apply the strategy in this particular case, because I know that nothing had happened to me, I know that there's no reason for me to be particular this way, I apply this strategy to redefine the way I see things, then maybe I redefine it in such a way that I realize that this person, the woman at the counter or the man behind the customer service counter, maybe they've had a worse day than me. Maybe they had to put their dog down, or their kid is homesick. I don't know any of those things about this person. But if I redefine the way I see things, and instead of seeing this negatively as this person being rude to me, I can see it as a way that I can talk with this person and ask questions about what's going on in their life. Hey, are you all right? What's going on with you? Anything I can do? Just want to make sure you're okay. And then they go about their day feeling a little bit better, and I go about my day feeling a little bit better. And in doing that, I help that person have a better day, and in the process of doing that, I have a better day. Just as an example of what it means to improve thinking in terms of the journal assignment, to do those two strategies and with specifics as I've done. So now we're in week 3, unit 3. I wanted to tell you again that I want you to enjoy the allegory of the cave, Plato's cave. And I apologize if you've watched the video. The little guy that comes around, I don't know why he's naked in the video. It doesn't lend anything to the video. The rest of the prisoners have clothes on, whatever. But it's a good video, and it does sort of get after the cave and what's really at stake here. So I hope you enjoy it. If intellectual humility is important, then the prisoners at the bottom of the cave who are still there should have listened to the prisoner who came back and told them, hey, there's a whole new reality out there. If they weren't egocentric, thinking they had all the right answers, no, I know what's right. If they weren't arrogant, they would have listened to the prisoner who came back down from the outside of the cave and brought new information, brought new knowledge. So ask yourselves, how often do I go about my day where I'm still the prisoner at the bottom of the cave, looking at the shadows on the wall, thinking that that's what's real? How often do I just listen to Fox News or CNBC or Rush Limbaugh or Rachel Maddow or whatever flavor it is, but that's all I'm looking at, all I'm listening to, and I'm not trying to change my perspective. I'm not trying to take care of my ego. I'm not trying to think that I got it all figured out. I'm seeking more information because I am a critical thinker. So enjoy the rest of the week. I'll be starting to look at week 3 discussions tomorrow on Saturday, and some assessments are starting to roll in as well. So have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on the discussion boards.